Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Ricardo and thanks so much for joining this demo lesson. This subject is math and we are going to talk about multiplication. For these parts, warm-up, some questions, rule in the classroom. In pre-teaching, we are going to skip all these parts because we need to go ahead. Just for games, I always add Team A versus Team B. So let's start. Multiplication. Let's repeat. Multiplication. Students repeat individually and thoroughly. Look at the symbol. It looks like a letter X. Let's say multiplied by. Multiplied. Multiplied by. Equals. Equals. Let's repeat slowly. Equals. Now let's do it faster. Equals. Okay. Individually and thoroughly. Now let's learn the parts of the multiplication. We have the blue color, green color, and red. The 15 is blue, the 2 is green, and 30 is red. 50 and 2 equals 30. Now let's repeat. Multiplicand. Multiplicand. Let's go with the green. Multiplier. Repeat. Now let's go to the red one. Product. 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 Now the 30 is in red. We say product. Product. So what's this? What's the blue color part? Hi, my. What's the green color one? Hoi. What's the red one? Hien, my, pine. Raise your hands. This part, the students answer individually and thoroughly. Now let's repeat after the teacher. 7. Multiplier. And 3. Multiplicand. Equals. 21 is the product. Let's practice the ending sounds. R. Multiplier. Multiplicand. Multiplicand. Product. Raise your hands and answer. What part of the multiplication is the number 7? What part of the multiplication is the 21? Okay. So now let's play whisper game or phone game. The teacher chooses 4 students from each team. The students line up and then listen to the teacher's question. So from the last students to the first one, they have to whisper, and the first one should say the word aloud. You will get stars for winning. Okay, let's start with this one. Let's start. So, what's this? Whisper the word. Let's go. What is this? What symbol is this? What part of the calculation is this? Whisper the word, and the first student should say the word aloud. Now everyone, let's open your books at the page, and we are going to the Unit 2, Calculations 2. Lesson 1, Multiplication. Letter A, look, listen, and repeat. Multiplicand. Multiplicand. Point with your fingers. Point to the number 5. Now let's say multiplier. Now let's point to the 90. Product. Okay guys? So let's repeat. Product. Let's do it individually and thoroughly. What is the number 1? Example. Now let's guess the letter. We play with 4 students from each team. and you have to clap your hand to answer. So I ask a question, example, what letter comes after the letter M? Can you guess? Yes, so the students should clap their hands and say, example, letter U. Yes, the word is multiplicand. Okay, so they are going to answer to my questions and I'm going to reward them with stars. What letter comes after the letter P? Letter R. Elicit knowledge of spelling for these words from students. In this way they can recheck and practice spelling and words memorization. So everyone sit down. We are going to look, listen and repeat. Look at the book and point to the letter P. What's the product of 157 and 2? Individual students one by one, and they should answer to know that the comprehension, the spelling, and the pronunciation is correct. They know each part of the calculation. In this part, the students will fill in the gaps and write the correct words. Multiplicand, multiplier, or product. They should be careful with their spelling, their writing skills, and they will have at least 5 minutes to complete this section. But the students also should know how to calculate and write. So they have letter C, look and write, and now repeat. What is the product of 18 and 5? Can you repeat it? What is the product? Repeat. What is the product? Now let's say the sentence all together. What is the product of 18 and 5? Hoài, Minh, Hoi. Can you say the full sentence? I ask the question individually and later corally, and I can recheck their knowledge, understanding, and comprehension on the section of this look, listen, and repeat part. So now, what is the product of 157 and 2? Now let's repeat. 157 and 2. Now let's say the full sentence. What is the product of 152 and 2? Now let's say the answer. The product of 157 and 2 is 314. 314. Repeat. 157. Repeat. So I rehearse with students and we practice on these sentences until they can complete successfully the requirements for reading this part or repeating. Now I ask questions and the students answer by themselves. What's the product of 18 and 5? The product of 18 and 5 is 90. Students, look at the circles. We have 5 and 17. For step 1, look at the green color. We have the first step, 7 and 5 is 35. So you can see 35 is in green color. Now, let's do the next one. 5 and 1 is 5, but I'm going to plus that 5. You can see? And now again closed the 3 and the 5. Now I'm going to sum it. First I write the number 5. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Teach these steps slowly and 3 times. Now the product of 5 and 17 is 85. Now let's do this calculation. 3 and 420 or 420. So the way to do this multiplication is very easy. So I can just go from the top to the bottom this way. 3 and 0 equals 0. 3 and 2 equals 6. 3 and 4 equals 12. So what's the product? 1260. Now let's change the order of the calculation and the result should be the same. It doesn't affect anything. It's the same. So now 420 is above and 3 is below. Now let's do it. 0 and 3 equals 0. 2 and 3 equals 6. 4 and 3 equals 12. So as you can see, the result is the same. This section students will practice multiplication on their notebooks because they have a task to solve on their books, which implies multiplication. So because this activity is individual, I should check the students' answers and their calculations to see if they did it in the right way. As it was taught and explained, students are ready to fill in the gaps on the books, write the correct words, multiplicand, multiplier, or product. So they fill in the gaps. They will have the silent book. The teacher shouldn't help the students, only guide them and instruct what they are going to do. And they have the calculate and write, which is the letter D. So they have letter C, look and write, and letter D, calculate and write. They should have at least 5 minutes to complete this task. And after that, the teacher should check students' answers. It's important to elicit students to share answers, to raise their hands if they don't know how to answer the questions or fill in the gaps. Okay, students, now fill in the gaps, write the correct words, multiplicand, multiplier, or product. So letter C, look and write. Look and write. Look at the circle. It's a blue circle. That is the word that we need to find, the part of the multiplication that we need to write. So look at the example. The example says one answer. It's already answered. Now letter D, calculate and write. You can see the number 1, it has already the answer. So follow the answer and calculate by yourself. After this activity, we can play a game, a writing game, or whatever else. And then the example, the teacher chooses 4 students from each team and they line up. They write the correct words one by one, and the faster wins a star. So let's say the students are lining up. They see the options multiplicand, multiplier, and product. So they write the right answer on the board one by one, and this way they will be getting their stars. Please note that I speak slowly while I'm teaching the classes. I spoke kind of fast because the time is too long as for a demo lesson. I appreciate your comprehension, your understandings, and thanks so much for giving me your time and appreciation for this video. Thanks so much for coming. Goodbye.